The film opens with a glimpse into the past of a woman named Georgia, also known as G. She fondly remembers cherished moments with loved ones. Meanwhile, on Christmas Eve, a bombshell drops on Georgia's lap. She discovers she's pregnant. Sam, determined to take charge, proposes marriage. While offering unwavering support for any choice she makes, his proposal fails to lift the weight off Georgia's shoulders. Despite her reservations, she invites Sam to join her family for Christmas. Back at Georgia's parents' place, where a human-like robot named Eli assists with chores, the festivities continue. After Christmas dinner, Sam seeks permission to whisk Georgia away for a night out on the town. At their friend's house, where the celebrations continue, a waiter named Daniel, an android indistinguishable from a human, approaches them with drinks. He notices Sam's missing phone, mirroring his own forgotten device. G, seeking solace, excuses herself to the restroom and confides in her friend Sarah about the pregnancy. Fear and uncertainty cloud her judgment. They're both students, and she harbors doubts about her relationship with Sam, even contemplating a breakup. Midway through their hushed conversation, an unsettling high-frequency radio wave rips through the air. Phones go flying, electronics flicker and sputter. As the sound fades, a horrifying scene unfolds downstairs. The supposedly harmless waiter, Daniel, has turned violent, attacking their friends with ruthless efficiency triggered by the sonic weapon. Panic erupts as Sarah and G scramble for escape. But chaos erupts. Sam stumbles while trying to protect G, leaving them vulnerable to Daniel's assault. Just in the nick of time, a friend intervenes, wielding a baseball bat, putting a brutal end to Daniel's rampage. The unsettling truth dawns on them: the seemingly peaceful night has descended into a living nightmare as androids, previously trusted companions, have turned into merciless attackers. Even phone-wielding civilians aren't spared the deadly blasts that indiscriminately target all mobile devices. The once bustling city lies in ruins, a testament to the destructive android onslaught. Months later, Georgia's pregnancy nears its end, her belly visibly swollen as she approaches her 9th month. Childbirth looms large. Sam, ever the dependable protector, displays unwavering concern for his beloved, shielding her from harm. After clinging to hope for a city's revival, they endured a harsh reality for months. With conditions deteriorating, they were forced to embark on a perilous journey to New York. However, their trek is cut short by the chilling sight of a vast android army, sending shivers down the spines of even the highest-ranking officials. In a desperate attempt, the military unleashes an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, humanity's last hope for halting the android advance. Here's a quick explanation of EMPs. A single, powerful blast disrupts electronics, effectively disabling androids. Unfortunately, it's a one-shot weapon. The EMP wave subsides, leaving a chilling silence before the androids launch their counterattack, successfully seizing control of New York. Now en route to Boston, Sam and Georgia face a daunting trek, a 6-mile hike through the treacherous forest, the only path remaining since androids patrol the city streets. They stumble upon a heavily guarded military base. The soldiers, tense and unforgiving, bark orders to disarm and back away. A thorough check ensues, a last-ditch effort to differentiate the human from the machine. After clearing the security check, they gain entry into the secure encampment. G meets with Dr. Howe, seeking medical attention for her advanced pregnancy. She recounts their arduous journey and their ultimate goal of reaching Boston. The doctor regretfully informs them that Boston is under heavy lockdown and direct travel is impossible. The surrounding area, a desolate wasteland, poses a near-insurmountable threat to any traveler. G pleads her case, revealing her plan to deliver the baby at the Boston base near the pier. Afterward, they intend to board a ship bound for Korea, rumored to be a haven of safety. Dr. Howe explains that Korea prioritizes women and children due to limited resources, and even they face strict rationing. Given her imminent due date, the doctor strongly advises G to remain in the camp until childbirth. Meanwhile, Sam approaches a soldier, hoping to secure passage to Boston. The soldiers, however, misinterpret his intentions. They suspect him of abandoning America's ruins for a rumored Asian paradise, their suspicion fueled by the metallic hip replacement detected during the security check. Their cruelty is evident, mistaking Sam for an android because of his prosthetic limb. Later that evening, G expresses her worry about the doctor's news, realizing one of them might have to stay behind in America. Sam, ever selfless, assures her that as long as she and their child are safe, he is willing to make any sacrifice. Witnessing this exchange, G's emotions flare. She interprets Sam's inquiry about Boston as a deliberate attempt to shirk his responsibility. A heated argument erupts, with hurtful words flying from Georgia's lips. Dejected, Sam retreats from the tent, seeking information about a group heading toward Boston. At a ceremony for new recruits, fate throws him a curveball. He encounters the same suspicious soldier. Fueled by alcohol, the soldier challenges Sam to a brawl in exchange for securing passage for him and G to Nashua, a town significantly closer to Boston, with a group departing the following day. The arrogant soldier, brimming with confidence, likely underestimated Sam's resilience. However, the fight takes an unexpected turn, with Sam emerging victorious. The next morning, a female officer rouses Georgia from sleep and escorts her to meet the base commander. Shocking news unfolds: Sam's brutal fight resulted in a cracked skull for the soldier, leading to his arrest. Unwilling to accept Sam as a replacement soldier, the commander, displaying a callous disregard for Georgia's pregnancy, orders their expulsion. This act of inhumanity from a figure sworn to protect civilians leaves Georgia aghast. To her, Sam's actions, fueled by his desire to fulfill her wish, seem foolish. Forced onto the perilous path that could endanger their unborn child, they trudge forward through a torrential downpour. As the rain ceases, their journey continues, leading them to an abandoned house. Sam, ever the provider, locates a mattress for G's comfort. He also stumbles upon an old film camera with one remaining shot. It becomes a silent promise to capture a precious image of them as a family, once their child enters the world. As night falls, G pores over route maps, while Sam delves into a medical dictionary, desperately seeking knowledge about childbirth. With Boston under siege, their only hope lies in a perilous sea route. Georgia meticulously plans their journey, north through New Hampshire, then on to Portsmouth, culminating in a boat trip to Boston Harbor. The path is fraught with danger. They'll be traversing areas untouched by the EMP, teeming with androids. Their estimated travel time is 3 to 4 days, demanding absolute silence to evade detection. In a heart-wrenching decision, they agree to continue their trek even after the baby arrives in this ramshackle shelter. However, the fragile pact fractures the next morning. Sam, consumed by anxiety, voices his concerns about delivering their child on the unforgiving shores of no man's land. Georgia vehemently disagrees. The roar of a motorbike in this desolate area would be a beacon to the ever-present androids. Yet, Sam argues that their journey becomes exponentially harder with a newborn. A wailing baby, especially one battling hunger and the cold, would shatter their cloak of silence. After a tense negotiation, G reluctantly concedes. With renewed resolve, they gather their supplies and embark on the treacherous journey, Sam at the helm of a dusty dirt bike. Their initial journey seems idyllic, a brief respite from their relentless pursuit. However, a moment of serenity by the river shatters as Georgia spots a lurking figure, an unwelcome visitor. Adrenaline surges. Sam fires up the motorbike, a desperate attempt to outrun the approaching androids. Georgia blasts one down, but more relentless pursuers emerge, one even wielding a menacing drone. Faced with an impossible choice, Sam drops Georgia off by the river, urging her to hide while he diverts the androids. Suddenly, a stranger appears before Georgia, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Arthur, his name is, pleads with her to follow him, to prioritize her survival. With a heavy heart, torn between escape and the nagging worry for Sam, Georgia concedes. Arthur leads her to a hidden haven, a place shrouded in an almost mythical cloak of invisibility to the androids. Georgia, bewildered by their sanctuary's apparent immunity, inquires about its security. Arthur, a former AI programmer at Raster Robotics, unravels the mystery. He possesses an uncanny understanding of the android's inner workings, the key to his survival. Delving deeper, Arthur references a book, a relic from 1920 by Karl Čapek. The book, he explains, eerily mirrors their current reality. It tells the tale of a scientist obsessed with disproving God's existence through the creation of life, artificial beings crafted from flesh and blood, known as roboti. These doppelgangers, indistinguishable from humans, were destined to serve as obedient servants. Additionally, distinguishing robots from humans becomes increasingly challenging. Initially, they appeared content to assist humanity, but their story culminates in a robotic uprising that eradicates human existence. Despite this foreknowledge of the consequences, humans continue to invest millions in their creation. Suddenly, Georgia awakens with a sharp pain, a contraction. Convinced it's too early for childbirth, she ventures out to find Sam. Arthur attempts to restrain her, warning that the outside world no longer harbors docile service robots, but deadly killing machines. Although humans and robots are distinct entities, Arthur argues that androids can still manipulate human programming through emotional manipulation, exploiting human vulnerabilities in unforeseen ways. Confused, Georgia inquires about Arthur's sudden concern for her well-being. Instead of responding, Arthur presses his ear to her stomach, overcome with emotion, muttering the same phrase repeatedly. Vowing to ensure Georgia's safe passage to Boston, Arthur equips her with a special camouflage vest he developed years ago. This vest renders humans invisible to android detection. Androids rely on a combination of ultraviolet light sensors, heat signatures, and night vision, and the vest effectively disrupts all these technologies. However, the invisibility is limited to sight. Robots can still detect humans through sound and smell. Finally, Arthur leads her to a hidden android safe haven. Nearing the house, Arthur passes the vest to Gia, instructing her to slip inside and equip Sam before departing. Since he only has 2 vests, Arthur remains outside. With courage, Georgia ventures into the house. The vest technology proves effective. She becomes entirely undetectable to the androids. In fact, the androids continue to torment humans, hoping to lure others into their trap. With slow and silent steps, she navigates the house until she finds Sam, who is severely injured with a mangled leg. As she attempts to rescue Sam, a sound alerts a nearby android. To distract it, Sam engages in a daring provocation, but this act results in further torture by the robot. Once the robots depart, Georgia rushes to untie Sam, ignoring the pleas of the other hostages. One man, desperate for help, threatens to shout and attract the androids. When Georgia doesn't respond, he follows through with his threat, causing the androids to give chase. As they stumble and fall, Arthur appears unexpectedly and aids them by eliminating all the androids in a flurry of gunfire. After taking down several androids, they scramble towards the truck. Arthur speeds away at a reckless pace while Sam remains barely conscious. Meanwhile, Georgia grapples with the impending birth of her child amidst the chaos. With no time to spare, she tears her pants and delivers the baby inside the speeding truck. Sometime later, Georgia awakens in a hospital bed. A doctor gently places their newborn son in Georgia's arms. Relief washes over her as she learns that Arthur is currently recuperating after collapsing from exhaustion upon bringing G and Sam to the Boston refugee camp. Both G and Sam are overjoyed with the arrival of their little one, whom they've named Forrest. The doctor explains that Arthur caused quite a commotion at the checkpoint, forcing the soldiers to grant them entry after seeing G and Sam unconscious. The urgency of the situation led them to rush Georgia into surgery to deliver the baby. Despite the joy of their newborn, a dark cloud hangs over them. Sam's grievous injury, he's lost both legs. However, Sam attempts to comfort Georgia, assuring her that he'll likely receive prosthetic legs upon reaching Korea. Following this, a military representative begins questioning them. G details their harrowing journey, attributing their survival to the technology within Arthur's vest. She meticulously explains its functionalities to the officer. However, the officer's expression becomes a mix of disbelief and confusion. The technology Georgia describes is entirely unknown to him. If it existed, it would have been disseminated and readily available from the government. A sudden jolt of realization strikes Georgia as she recalls Arthur's cryptic words. A horrifying truth dawns on her: she's been manipulated. Arthur, it turns out, is not who he seemed. He's an android who merely used her as a pawn to infiltrate the Boston refugee camp and introduce more robots. This horrifying revelation is confirmed as the interrogation concludes, just as an army of androids launches a full-scale assault on the Boston camp. Sam, meanwhile, has succumbed to sleep thanks to the medication's effects. G drapes a cloth over him and promises to return after finding assistance. G then propels herself out in a wheelchair, clutching her baby close. Dr. Howe's earlier briefing confirmed her suspicion: the robot's infiltration aimed to trigger the EMP. Georgia races through the chaos of the battlefield, dodging both soldiers and androids. She reaches the EMP chamber, but Arthur emerges unexpectedly from behind. He menaces to stab the child if she doesn't cooperate with disabling the EMP. This encounter also reveals that the androids were designed to evoke a sense of comfort in humans. As Arthur closes in on G, she fires relentlessly at his head, destroying his face and exposing his true robotic form. Moments later, additional androids arrive, forcing Georgia to barricade the door. With a final push, she manages to leap and activate the EMP, a device reserved for dire emergencies only. The resulting surge disables the nearby androids. Georgia awakens once more in the patient's room, finding herself beside Sam and Forrest. G seizes the last remaining film camera and captures a photo of them together. Before the situation deteriorates further, Sam urges them to rush to the port and secure passage on an evacuation ship. Upon arrival, they discover a Korean vessel about to depart. However, the officer delivers disheartening news: Korea will only accept the child, not the parents. This isn't due to limited space, but rather the requirement of having a job in Korea to ensure their survival. Seeing the severity of Sam's injured leg, they doubt their ability to survive on their own. Understanding their predicament, Sam pleads with Ji to allow Forrest to leave with the officer. He believes the child will have a brighter future in Korea. With a heavy heart, Ji signs the document terminating their parental rights presented by the officer. She also pens a heartfelt letter to her son, expressing her sorrow at their separation. Afterward, she instructs the officer to find a loving family who will care for her son. Unable to contain her emotions, Georgia breaks down in tears as her child departs. As the film concludes, Georgia attempts to purge her painful memories by burning a photo of Sam. However, she chooses to cherish a photograph of her with Sam and Forrest, a lasting reminder of the immense joy she experienced as a mother. Now alone, Georgia's fate remains unclear. While Sam's death seems likely due to blood loss, a glimmer of hope persists. The film ends with Ji joining a group of soldiers heading towards a survivor base established in Portland. This concludes the recap of Mother Android 2021. Thanks for watching. See you next time.